The deepest betrayals often come not from enemies, but from those who call themselves friends. You know the type. They smile to your face, yet quietly undermine your confidence behind your back. They feign care, but their actions drain your energy, dim your light, and keep you small. This is the covert enemy disguised as a friend. If you're not vigilant, they can erode your peace for years, leaving you questioning your own instincts. Today, I'll reveal 5 unmistakable signs you're dealing with a covert enemy, and why cutting ties isn't just an option, it's essential self-defense. This isn't speculation or casual advice. These are real behavioral patterns psychologists identify in toxic relationships. If you've ever felt a chill in your gut after talking to a so-called friend, pay attention. Your inner peace is priceless. Your growth, calm, and resilience deserve protection. Grab a glass of water, settle in, and let's get honest. If this resonates, hit like, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment about your experience with a covert enemy. Together, we'll unmask the deceivers and build the authentic, lasting relationships you deserve. First, let's define the covert enemy. The harshest truth is that some of the cruelest betrayals come from those who claim to be friends. They don't show hostility openly but hide it behind smiles, false concern, and polished facades. You think, but in reality, they're playing a long game, subtly eroding your confidence. One day, you find yourself second-guessing every choice, wondering if you're too sensitive or imagining things. But you're not. That's the hallmark of a covert enemy posing as a supporter while quietly tearing you down at critical moments. They're masters of disguise, reading the room and adapting their behavior. Alone with you, they're encouraging, praising your creativity. But in a group, their support vanishes, replaced by subtle digs that make you look foolish or unprepared. You might share a private idea, and they call it brilliant. Yet in front of others, they say, it's an option, but probably not practical, planting doubt without taking responsibility. This duplicity isn't random, it's a calculated move to keep you off balance. The more you doubt yourself, the less you suspect them. A careless comment here, a half-hearted compliment there. When you confront them, they play innocent. I didn't mean it that way. Or, you're misreading me. This is emotional manipulation, designed to make you question your reality. Psychologists call it covert abuse, a subtle, persistent fog of confusion and doubt. Picture this. You're working on a community project, pouring hours into planning, rallying volunteers, and securing funds. In private, they cheer you on, saying they admire your leadership. But in group meetings, they highlight flaws you never mentioned, framing your efforts as rushed or amateurish. You leave those meetings feeling diminished, embarrassed, and betrayed. This is the covert enemy's signature, sabotaging your progress, not to help you grow, but to ensure you never outshine them. Their aim is to keep you in check, never a threat. Their approval is conditional, their criticism strategic. They thrive on the power imbalance when you start relying on them to validate your choices. Honestly, this isn't just annoying, it's dangerous. Over time, you lose trust in yourself and hand your confidence to the least deserving. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus warned, if someone can anger you, Your mind is complicit. This doesn't mean you're to blame for their malice, but you control how you respond. Recognizing their game is your first step to freedom. You don't need to outplay or fight them on their terms. You just need to see through them and refuse to engage. The Stoic approach is about clarity and emotional distance, not ceasing to care about others, but refusing to let them define your worth. When someone acts differently in private versus public, don't excuse it. Accept the truth. Their actions reveal. Don't try to fix them. Set boundaries. Maybe you share less with them, or reduce contact. In some cases, you must cut them off entirely. That's not cruelty, it's preserving your dignity. You deserve friends who don't belittle you or sow doubt for their gain. True friends are consistent. Whether you're alone or in a crowd, they root for your success. Even when it doesn't benefit them, facing the pain of a trusted friend's betrayal is real. But it's necessary to clear space for honest, respectful connections. You can't control someone's choice to manipulate, but you can choose not to play their game. Cultivate your character, sharpen your clarity, and stand firm against their duplicity. This is how you reclaim your peace and protect your spirit. Stoicism doesn't promise you'll avoid pain or betrayal, but it equips you to rise above without breaking. It reminds you that your worth is yours to uphold. Spotting these signs early lets you restore your inner calm sooner. If this hits home, comment yes below. Your voice matters, and I'd love to hear from you. As we move to the next section, competitive sabotage. We'll uncover how these people not only undermine your confidence in secret, but actively block your success while pretending to support you. The next sign exposes how far a false friend will go to keep you from outshining them, and how Stoic wisdom helps you stand unshaken against their hidden hostility. Let's dive into competitive sabotage, the subtle art of holding you back. This isn't healthy competition that lifts both sides. True friends celebrate your wins while pursuing their own goals. It's mutual respect, sharpening each other. But a false friend sees your success as a threat, a shadow over their own light. Their sabotage isn't blatant, no insults or direct confrontations. It's cleverer, masked as help or concern. They chip away at your confidence with seemingly sincere advice, designed to make you hesitating just enough to stay behind them. Imagine you're up for a big promotion, the result of years of hard work. You share your excitement and nerves with a friend. Instead of cheering you on, they nod gravely, warning about office politics or suggesting you're not quite ready. By the end, you're doubting whether to even try. You think they're being honest, but look closer. Their words don't clarify, they sow doubt. That's not care, it's sabotage. Plain and simple. Their goal is to make you hold yourself back, so you never surpass them. It's easier for them to dim your ambition than face their own insecurities. Competitive sabotage isn't just words. It shows up in shared projects. Maybe you're co-organizing a community event, splitting tasks, but they show up late, unprepared, or leave you to clean up their mess, making you look incompetent while they protect their reputation, or they promise feedback on a crucial presentation, then flake at the last minute, leaving you scrambling. Even worse, they handle your achievements with disdain. When you get that promotion or award, their congratulations come with a twist, downplaying its value, or hinting you had an unfair edge. These moments sting, not just because of their words, but because of who they come from. You trusted them, You expected support. The betrayal cuts deep, and it's often hard to prove. Each remark or mishap can be excused, making you seem paranoid if you call it out. Stoics teach us to see these tactics as external threats to our inner peace, not unbeatable forces. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's the key to surviving competitive sabotage. You can't control someone feeling threatened by your success. You can't stop their destructive competition, but you can control your response. First, recognize the pattern. Don't ignore that gut unease when someone consistently dampens your enthusiasm or plants doubt just as you're about to leap. Your instincts aren't paranoia, they're warnings. Once you see the pattern, stop playing their game. Limit how much you share about your goals and plans. Don't give them leverage to use against you. Protect your ambitions by keeping them close. Second, don't let their words dictate your decisions. You owe no one your smallness. If you want that promotion, apply. If you're ready to launch your idea, go for it. Weigh feedback critically. But don't let their so-called realism designed to hold you back keep you stuck. Finally, guard your peace by setting boundaries. This doesn't always mean cutting them off, it means redefining the relationship. If they can't handle your success, they don't deserve access to your deepest dreams and plans. Their actions reflect their insecurities, not your worth. When you stop shrinking to make them comfortable, you reclaim your power. True friends compete constructively, pushing each other to grow. They cheer your wins because they're secure enough to know your success doesn't diminish theirs. Anyone who tries to dim your light isn't a friend, they're an anchor holding you down. As we move to the next section, conditional support, we'll see how false friends weaponize their help, tying it to invisible strings that bind you to their agenda. Have you seen this subtle sabotage in your life? Drop a comment and share your story. Let's shine a light on these toxic patterns and break free together. Now, let's explore conditional support when help comes with a hidden cost. True friendship is built on trust and unwavering support, not scorekeeping or transactional exchanges. But false friends operate differently. Their support is never free, it's a deal, laced with conditions, designed to keep you indebted and off balance. Consider my client Lisa, who knew Jenna from college. They seemed inseparable: trips, dinners, heartfelt talks. But over time, Lisa noticed a pattern. When she faced hardships, like losing her job or her father, Jenna vanished. Calls went unanswered, texts ignored. Yet when Lisa landed a new job or got invited to a big event, Jenna reappeared, eager to bask in the glow. She'd pose for photos at Lisa's promotion party, shining in her success, but vanish when Lisa needed comfort in the dark hours. It took years for Lisa to see the cycle. Jenna's support was tied to visibility and gain. Her kindness wasn't for Lisa, it was to boost her own image. When Lisa set boundaries and asked why Jenna disappeared in tough times, Jenna played the victim, weaponizing past favors. She'd remind Lisa of the time she hosted her wedding or helped with trips, implying Lisa owed her loyalty no matter what. This is the trap of conditional support. Every favor comes with strings. They track every kindness, waiting to cash it in later. You wonder if you can say no, given all they've done. They're quick to remind you when you step out of line. This toxic dynamic forces you to prioritize their needs, comfort, and approval over your own boundaries, just to keep the peace. You tell yourself you're being a good friend, but you're just avoiding their punishment, silent treatment, withdrawal, or passive-aggressive guilt trips. Real friendship doesn't keep score. Healthy relationships have a natural give and take. Trusting balance comes with time. You don't need to prove your worth for their presence. You don't earn their love by staying small, grateful, or dependent. Conditional support hurts because it seems generous at first, until you see the price. That's the danger. It exploits your gratitude and good intentions. Over time, you're conditioned to expect inconsistency, questioning your right to ask for help unless you're ready to pay it back in full. Stoics teach that inner peace must never be held hostage to others' whims. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Each morning, think of the privilege of living, thinking, enjoying, and loving. If they vanish in your tough times but show up to bask in your wins, see it clearly." Second, stop bargaining for their affection. You don't need to trade emotional labor for friendship. Their withdrawal is their choice, not your failure. Don't let them guilt you into prioritizing their comfort over your mental health. Third, set boundaries without apology. Limit what you give. Share less. You can still be polite, even kind, without letting them into the most sensitive parts of your life. Above all, build a stoic resilience when you don't rely on external validation. Their manipulation loses power. Become the friend you seek, steadfast, loyal, generous without expecting return. This attracts people who live the same way. Recognizing conditional support doesn't make you cold, it makes you honest, freeing you from years of unfair emotional servitude. If this resonates, comment yes below. Your thoughts matter, and I'd love to hear them. As we move to weaponizing information, we'll explore a deeper betrayal when a trusted friend collects your secrets only to use them against you later. This is one of the most painful forms of manipulation, and spotting it early is crucial to protecting your dignity and peace. Let's uncover how false friends turn your trust into a weapon, and how to shield yourself from their betrayal. Think of a moment when something truly good happens: a big work contract, your dream apartment, or great health news. After weeks of worry, your instinct is to share that joy with those closest to you, expecting them to celebrate alongside you. That's what friendship should be: a safe space to savor victories. But with a false friend, you get something else: avoidance instead of joy, criticism instead of congratulations. Share your new home, and they warn about the neighborhood's decline or a shady landlord. Tell them you hit your sales target, and they counter with their bigger win, or remind you numbers aren't everything. This isn't accidental, it's a deliberate tactic to dampen your enthusiasm, shrinking your victories so they don't feel overshadowed. I had a client who, after years of underappreciated work, won a prestigious award. She was thrilled to tell her friend, but instead of genuine praise, she got a forced smile and a comment that the award was mostly political, implying others were more deserving. That call left her ashamed for even mentioning it, as if her pride was arrogance. This is joy-stealing at its most subtle, not social clumsiness, but a calculated refusal to share in your happiness. Your wins feel like their losses, exposing their insecurities. Psychologists call this joy-stealing, a deeply damaging relational wound because our milestones matter. Celebrating them affirms our worth. This was worth it. I did well. When someone consistently denies that affirmation, they plant seeds of self-doubt. Over time, you downplay your achievements, qualifying your good news to avoid their dismissal. You might stop sharing altogether, choosing silence to escape the risk of being diminished. This isn't trivial. It erodes your sense of self-worth. It sends a message. Your success is an inconvenience. Your happiness excessive. Your pride arrogant. Worst of all, you feel responsible for managing their feelings about your life. Stoics remind us we can't control others' reactions, but we can control our response. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." The Rousseau wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's the key to surviving joy stealing. If you must keep them in your life for work or family, manage the relationship with clear-eyed realism. Don't invite them into your inner circle, where you share life's biggest moments. Protect your joy from becoming their shame. Ask yourself the tough question: do you struggle to celebrate others' successes? Have you ever felt envy that led you to point out flaws in their plans? The line between victim and perpetrator blurs if we're not honest. Being a true friend means setting aside your insecurities to honor someone else's moment. Real friends show up consistently, cheering without conditions. They create space for your light to shine. Knowing joy isn't a finite resource to be rationed. They believe there's enough happiness for everyone to share. When someone can't or won't rejoice with you, it's not your job to fix them. Your responsibility is to protect your peace. Hold your victories close and share with those who truly want you to thrive. You deserve to take pride in what you've built. As we wrap up these warning signs, reflect on what you've learned. Spotting false friends isn't about distrusting everyone. It's about seeing clearly those who drain your spirit and steal your peace. Next, we'll focus on setting real boundaries to reclaim your space from these subtle saboteurs. If you've faced this sabotage or struggled to celebrate your own wins because of someone's influence, share your thoughts below. Name these toxic patterns, and let's seek healthier, truer connections together. Your voice matters. You're not overreacting. You're awakening. It takes courage to admit a trusted friend is undermining your peace. That realization is a gift. You don't need to keep playing their game or trade politeness for your sanity. Stoicism teaches us to focus only on what we control. You, sedimentary, can choose who enters your heart, mind, and inner circle. Starting today, draw those lines. Say no to those who diminish your joy and worth. Say yes to guarding your energy for those who... That's not malice. It's self-respect. It's freedom. You deserve relationships that are safe, honest, and supportive. You deserve to share your successes without shame, to ask for help without debt, to be yourself without fear of sabotage. Don't let anyone shrink you to soothe their insecurities. If this video brought clarity, don't keep it to yourself. Like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Comment below which sign hit you hardest. Let's keep this conversation going. Your future self will thank you for every boundary you set today.